All right, so welcome back to today's Lunch at the Market. We're taking a look at basically the fad scan names. So there's really two things that are happening right now. One is we actually published an article yesterday on stockpicker.com at about 5 o'clock. I think that was Eastern Standard Time. I'd have to go back and look at the timestamp on it. It talked about in length, in detail, our story, clearing up the Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, uh, all that. Okay? So the bottom line is go check out stockpicker.com. It's the second or third article down. The article is entitled Facebook's Not as Big a Threat to Netflix as Everyone Thinks. The other way that you can do it is always go to our Magnum Opus Financial Facebook page, and we've got a link right on there. Yeah, the story about Facebook is on our Facebook page. So check that out because it's actually moving the markets. Akamai up, that's in the story. Netflix up huge, that's in the story. Amazon down, that's in the story. Apple down, that's in the story. So basically, it's really nice to have market-moving news that we put out yesterday. So for the full story on Facebook, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, DirecTV, Time Warner Cable, the whole 9 yards, Akamai, Limelight Networks, go check out our piece either on our Facebook page at Magnum Opus Financial, or go ahead and check out stockpicker.com. Don't forget to leave out the E in stockpicker.com. Okay, so what's going on today? Itron, ITRA, ITRI. This thing was pretty hideous and ugly, but the reality is when we went to do trade repair on our Itron, which has been obliterated, we found out that there's really no way to roll down and out. Okay, so what does that mean when you can't roll down and out? So we're going to teach you how to divine the options market. So we went ahead and took a look at this month, right? The 55 puts are 185 bid, 220 offer. The 50s are 10-cent bid, 20-cent offer. So that right there tells you that the option market thinks there's no way that this stock breaks 50 by next Friday. Then you look out to April, right? Once again, let's take a look at the 55 strike puts. The bid on those is 290. The ask is 310. But here's what's interesting. The 50 puts are 85-cent bid, $1 offer, and the 45 puts are 15-cent bid, 35-cent offer. So what does that mean? Well, ideally, what we would usually do is we take what we were short and then roll it down and out to the next month. Sorry, let's do a better visual. We're short here, and then we'd roll down and out to the next month on the calendar. The problem with being able to do that in Itron, ITRI, is that nobody thinks that the stock is really going to go materially below 55. So instead what we did was we actually rolled out. And because of the elevated premiums in the 55, because technically that 55 strike's already been broken, and of course if you go out to the next month, all the time value is back in the options, we actually got paid to keep the same size position and simply just roll out to the next month. Until the options market believes that there's a significant risk to Itron's downside, we're not going to believe it either. And so because we didn't want our spread to go to intrinsic value, which wouldn't be terrible. Intrinsic value on the Itron spread that we're short is actually only 150 bucks. Okay, so it's not a huge loss. It still could be rolled down out at that point, but with the terrible tape that we've seen all this week, we just felt more comfortable rolling it out on the calendar, just moving on. We're hoping that since March looks like January, that April looks like February. So February was a terrific options expiration for us. We're actually up 10% year-to-date in all our portfolios. Of course, March is terrible. We're now back to the flat line, and so the hope is that we'll then regain that momentum back in April. So we'll see what happens. But that's the story on Itron. The options market, if you look at the options chain for April, is telling you there is no premium at the 45 strike put. There's very little premium at the 50 strike put, and the only reason that there is because of all the time value. But to do a 50-45 put spread, you're talking about only be able to take in maybe 55 cents. And the spread right now, the 55-50 spread right now, because the options market does not believe that Itron can trade down to 50, you're talking about a $2 spread. And so if you had to roll down and out, you'd have to quadruple the size of your position in order to get down and out. So the reality is the options market is telling you not to freak out about Itron, ITRI, and we're not going to. We're going to stay long our call spreads that are way out on the calendar, January 2012, and we're just going to roll our 55-50 put spreads short out to next month. Okay, now, NTAP. That has been another nasty, hideous mover, right? They are making an acquisition, and let me see if I can bring that in, tell you exactly. Okay, so LSI, that's a publicly traded company, that's their ticker symbol. They're buying a storage sector unit from LSI, looks like $480 million. Now, the concern is that some of the end markets that the two companies serve, right, there's NGO competes with EMC via its OEM partners, so that the concern is that the latest acquisition will disrupt these OEM relationships, and so they're saying that the opportunity on this deal is really for EMC, not for NTAP. Well, the management is talking about the addressable market that will be served by this new business unit could be as high as $5 billion. The other thing that's really important to know is that this acquisition, they are seeing it be accretive by the end of the year, right? So already accretive, massive addressable market space, and certainly the fight between Hewlett-Packard and Dell over 3 par last year, right? So there's a lot going on in storage right now. NTAP was absolutely obliterated on the open, so we took the opportunity to roll some of those short put spreads. Of course, we were short the 50-45 put spreads. That looked terrible on the open. We rolled those down and out. Yesterday, we looked to be in great shape with about a week left, and then all that, everything hit the fan. But the stock has rebounded significantly from the lows. Let me see if I can pull up the chart. On the 4-hour chart, you can see that the lows for the day on NTAP was about 46.53. It's about 46.53. The stock is now trading at 48.39. Again, bringing the intrinsic value of that $5 wide spread to only about $1.60 or $1.58. So we are also considering just simply rolling these guys out the next month. Why? Well, if we take a look at the options chain for NTAP, okay, the Marches show that there's $1 in the 48, there's about 60 cents in the 47, and then looking at 45, there's only 22 cents, 44, 13 cents, right? So the options market is telling you that for March, it's really not that concerned about a further downside move. Now, if we wanted to try to roll down to the 45-40 put spreads, right? We're short the 50-45. To roll down and out to the next strike would put us at the 45-40. Well, here's the interesting thing. The stock market, it's only giving you 26, 27 cents for the 40 strike, indicating, again, the options market doesn't believe that it's very rational to see NTAP down that far. If we take a look at the 45 strike, there's really only about $1.05. And so again, a spread that you're talking about right now that you'd have to buy back for close to $2, you'd only get $1.05. So again, you'd have to double your position just to roll down and out. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay pat where we're at. We're going to roll it out and stay short the 50-45 put spreads. Because you know what? The deal's accretive. It gives them a massive addressable market in the storage space. There's plenty of room for competitors, right? So they can go up against EMC if they want. NTAP has done a series of smaller acquisitions, mostly of privately held companies, but I think they're really well positioned to be, part of this cloud revolution that's going on right now. So Itron and NTAP, those are our real two positions that we're taking advantage of what's going on right now. We're using the options markets to divine the future, which tells us that the options markets aren't really concerned about the downside of either Itron or NTAP or NetApp. And so we're going to just roll those out on the calendar instead of rolling out and down. It allows us to keep the same position size and take in additional credit for the trade. That's how we're managing our book today. ITRI also getting an upgrade. It's very nice to see ITRI actually green for a change. The LED space, Rubicon, had some real nice price action the other day. There's been right now an upgrade of ITRI. We think the upgrade cycle is just beginning for names like ITRI. So we roll down and out to the 45-40, and we expect that to be our last roll on it. Thanks for joining us again today on Lunch in the Market, and we will see you tomorrow.